Hello. It's 5 o'clock. I'm wondering whether you can hear me. Can somebody just put any thumbs up if you can see me and hear me? Yes. Thanks. Got lots of them. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Sandy. Thank you very much. Thank you. So it's 5 p.m. So we're good to go. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining yet another Kompass BMS webinar with all of us in here. This is the fourth webinar. Currently in October. Yeah, we're on the fourth one. And this time we will be talking about the dashboard. Anything that we've seen the dashboard, oh, hang on, let me just change my page. There we go. So here it is. This is our dashboard, some snippets from it. Lots of data, lots of information. We will be talking about lots of different ways to understand our data, understand our projects, and hopefully see lots of tricks and lots of things that probably you were not aware of. This is always what we are really looking forward to, just show you some things that you haven't really checked within Kompass. This time in this webinar, we will be talking about the bar charts and line charts in here as we can see them, and how we can slice and dice the information just to get a better understanding of our company. Notifications and proposals, or notifications of proposals and time off, which are kind of linked with your account. We will see all of this together. And then in the end, we will be seeing lots of different ways of filtering and visualizing the data. The dashboard for us in Kompass BMS is we think that it's a great tool to help you get your strategy forward, to help you understand where your organization goes and where the market is leading you to. And we will be seeing them all together in these 30 minutes of the webinar. As always, this webinar is being recorded. It has already been recorded before I even started and will be made available to all of you by the end of it. Should you have any questions at any point, feel free. You will be able to see a Q&A little button up on top of your Teams. Please do drop them there, and then I will be doing some breaks 2 times during this webinar to answer your questions. There are 3 sections in this webinar. Initially, we'll be talking about finance and sales, and then we will be exploring operations. A little bit about me. I'm Spiros. I'm the Customer Success Manager of Kompass BMS, helping new clients on board and helping also existing clients to get the most possible value out of Kompass. Enough of talking. Well, it's going to be mainly me talking, but let's jump into Kompass now. I'm going to bring it here. Here we are. So 2 things that I would like to mention about this particular webinar. As you can see, we're seeing lots of financial information in here. Therefore, for some of you might not have access to all this information. Nevertheless, it is a great opportunity for you, even if you cannot see them, to see what Kompass can offer. And the second thing that I would like to say about this webinar is, since we are really focused on the dashboard, you will see me just jumping in pages and kind of making some rapid moves through projects, proposals, and that kind of stuff. Please bear with me. We will have time to explore all of this in a different webinar. It's just that I will not spend too much time explaining what I am doing along the process. Let's begin. First things that we would like to see in the dashboard are those 4 KPIs up on inquiries that we have received in the last 4 weeks within our organization, any orders any orders that we have won in the last 4 weeks. Our hit rate is 100%, which means that any proposal we have submitted to our clients, they have all been accepted. We had no cancelled projects, no abandoned projects. Everything was great in the last 4 weeks. Billable hours are 207 in the last 4 weeks again. We will be talking about billable hours in a bit, but it is something quite essential within Kompass, an essential data set that we are using it a lot, and we will talk about this later on. And now we will jump on the very first graph in here, the won proposals. In here, we can see all the proposals that we have won during the past 12 months. You can see that there are different colors, which signifies how much each department has brought to the organization. May 2023, 0.8 of a million. 354,000 is on digital engineering. And we can see the other departments as well in here. That doesn't always have to be a department on all this coloring. If you will just jump up here on this cog, you can change the stack by estimators, for example, who brought the most jobs. And in here, we can see that Sonia Craig on that particular month brought the most orders within the organization. And we have by managers, probability. Probability is a really, really good one. If we would like to do some forecasting, some estimating how busy are we going to be in the future, how many of them are set as 190%, nearly certain that we will win. Therefore, it kind of gives you a good indication of whether you should get some more people or some help or some subbies. Let's go back to departments. And then that particular graph has more to show. In here, we will be talking about all these different categories, all these different types of graphs. We will start initially with proposals. So in here, we can see how many proposals we've got within how many proposals we have submitted within that particular month. You can see that September and October is really, really poor in this demo side of Kompass. Please do remember this gap in here. We will need it in a bit. So this is the proposals, whatever we have submitted to clients within that month. Open proposals is everything that is open, everything that has been submitted, and we still have to hear whether we have won or lost the project. And you can see here September and October, those are really, really low, down low, the lowest of them all. Once again, do remember that we will need it. Actually, let's go and have a look right now. I will jump in a proposal that haven't been submitted yet. It's an inquiry. And you can see that is a quite big one, 2 million proposal. So I'm going to jump on this one. I'm going to edit. As I've said, I'm going to start doing some things in here. I submit this proposal in September, and I am expecting that I will win this proposal 30th of September. I will click save, and then I will jump back to my dashboard, click refresh. And here it is. The 2 million of that particular proposal is out there within in our dashboard. If I will click here, open proposals, can you see that September and October, they have been boosted, both of them. They are as such because they're showing that there is a 2 million project that is just kind of hanging around, and we're waiting to see what's going to happen. By the way, I didn't mention about the moving average. We do have the 6-month moving average in here, that particular line. Therefore, you can understand that when you are in your organization, if you have more than one person who's doing estimates or who's doing sales and they're preparing all these proposals, you will be able to immediately see what is going on. You will not have to check with each one of them. You just jump into your dashboard, click and refresh, and everything is there in front of you. Other categories, we have the won proposals. We've seen them before. Lost proposals. By the way, can you see we have no lost proposals in here in September, October, thus the hit rate of 100%. We don't have any lost project. Then we've got the completed project. Any project that have been marked as completed, we will be seeing it in here. And then we have invoices and invoices billing, and we'll talk about this in a bit. You will see the difference in those two. Finally, we have payments. There are no payments in this organization. Nobody. I mean, we're not getting any payments, any money. We're just working for free. Well, in this case, is because, as I said, in this demo version, probably the demo organization is not using our payments module. Therefore, they're not recording them within Kompass. But we can have them in here as well as payments. Let's just jump back to invoices. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just jump back to that 2 million project. I will start doing some funny business in here, as in accepting this proposal. Okay, so this has been turned into project. Therefore, effectively, I can just go and raise an invoice right now. Bear with me. Okay, let's say that I am raising an invoice on October the 9th of $1 million. Is this? Yes, that's $1 million. Those works, I am invoicing in October the works that have been carried out in September. This is kind of typical. I mean, in accounting in general, you are not invoicing by the end of September. You are invoicing beginning of October for your September works. So that's okay. 1 million for September works for October. I will save it. I will jump back here, click refresh, and true to what is kind of logical, rational in accounting, we can see this 1 million in here in October 2023. However, if we would like to see how much has been billed against and on which month, we can pick this one, and as you can see, that 1 million kind of slipped down to September, because it's just telling you that in September you have invoiced, you've done works that have been invoiced for 1 million. And with that said, this is the very first time that I will take a short break to just check whether we have any Q&As, any questions, anything's going on. No, everything seems to be quiet. Yeah, we have no questions in the chat, no questions in the Q&A. Therefore, I will just continue with the second part of our webinar, which once again is going to be down to finance and sales, and then we will be moving in operations. But feel free, you know where it is, just drop them. Why am I wearing them like this? Sorry. All good. So let's move back to our dashboard. By the way, you can see that this one is at 2 million right now. We have 2,287 because we have that 2 million project that has been accepted. Equally, if I will go to won projects, won proposals, here it is up there, spiking up on top. Let's talk about hit rate. Let's talk about some of the other financial and sales graphs. Hit rate, as we've said before, it's the percentage of projects that have been accepted over all the proposals that we have created. So in here, we can see that some of them, quite a lot of them have been lost or have not been won. This graph is something that is really, probably many people have seen that. What some people might not have seen is that little cog in here and playing around and just change and show individual 6-month average and show separated by estimator. So now I've had my hit rate, but I am separated by estimator, which means that in here I can see that Scott Evans is on 96%. Therefore, nearly all of his projects are won, while Betty Munson down here is at 11%. Therefore, 1 out of 10 of the proposals that she is preparing are being won. Now, I'm not going to come here and tell you whether this is a good percentage or a bad percentage or which is the good or bad percentage. This is entirely down to your organization. I mean, Scott Evans might be a good percentage or it might not be. It might show that he's pricing very attractively and he's just winning all projects and then operations are struggling. And Betty might show in here that she's not quoting that many. That's entirely down to you to decipher. You know your organization, you know how to do that, but you have the data to understand it. This is the really interesting one. Katrina, for example, and Patrick, they were at 100% and they're steadily dropping down to 0% in June. Once again, something for you to understand what it means and how you can deal with. And you can do the same, for example, by department and see how departments are performing hit rate wise. Once again, we can see that digital construction was really, really high in December, but then it's dropping down there. Laser scanning is constantly below the average. Down to you to understand why it's happening and what you should do in the future, if you need to do anything with that. Let's turn back to this one. And then let's shelve them for a while. We're going to check those two later on. Organizations. This is a list of all the organizations listed by, how many are they, by the way? 240. We've got lots of them. We've got a list of organizations ranked by orders in the past 12 months. Therefore, you can see which are the strongest organizations, strongest clients, let's say, in your company. SV Group is number 1. We shouldn't be surprised because that's a 2 million project that we have accepted. So yeah, it just jumped up here on top. The other thing that I would like to show you now is I will jump to a certain account because currently I'm in a God's mode and I'm just checking everything I want. But if I will go to, let's say, Alexandra Fisher's account, I'm going to see some new windows in here. And those windows are relevant for myself, for, what's my name? Amanda? Amanda Fisher. This is relevant for me as Amanda Fisher. Those are the proposals that I have to submit. They're under my name. I have received the inquiry from the client, and I will have to submit them by October 14th. I've lost the submission. What is it? Today is 18th. So I kind of lost submission. I might have lost the project or the proposal, or I might have to do it really, really quick. This one is for November 9th. Therefore, there is this kind of warning in here in front of you in the dashboard that you will have to chase those proposals. Or there are some proposals out there that you have submitted, and according to your expectations, the expected award date was X date. Therefore, Kompass is just telling you that, you know what, August 31st, you should have heard from them back then. You might want to chase them. You might want to pester them and check what is going on. This is red, this is orange because this is tomorrow. So a good indication for you to chase some stuff. I think I've covered everything I want in this batch. So I will just make another short break, have a look whether we have any questions. We have no questions at all. As I've said before, either I'm very good or nobody understands what I'm talking about. Let's vouch for the first one. Let's go for the third one. Let's go for the third part of the dashboard. We will be looking at operations now. Operations and some filtering and some such tools. We haven't seen the on-time delivery and the billable hours. On-time delivery. Every project that has been delivered on time, it has been delivered on or before the set deadline, is delivered on time. If I will have any recorded hours, any status updates, any recorded hours or any status updates after the deadline, it kind of indicates to me that I haven't delivered on time. Now, in here we can see, for example, that 99% has been delivered on time. Not exactly. It is 99%. We will get back to this one in a sec to see what that 99 means. But initially, I would like to show you that when it comes to on-time delivery, we can play the same games as we did before with the hit rate. We can split that by department, for example, and we can see that when it comes to on-time delivery, this department, laser scanning, was consistently at 100%, but then there is a kind of a nosedive in here and is dropping to whatever that 16%. Once again, kind of a warning, kind of something for us to check and see and understand what is going on. The same is going on here with BIM. It's just dropping down to 0% in June. While there are some departments in here that kind of following this average line that you can vaguely see it in here, the 6 months average. As I've said, we can do that by managers as well. So we can see who is the manager. As we can see, Christopher Clay, for example, in here is constantly climbing. His hit rate is going very, very well along the months. Well, those managers here, Jeffrey and Scott, their on-time delivery is falling. Once again, there might be a very, very good reason why that is happening. It's just that Kompass will show you this information, and it's down to you to decode them and understand them. Let's go back here. Billable hours is essential for Kompass. We are budgeting our projects, and in surveying and in our industry, really, it's really frequent that it's prominent, really, where we will prepare our proposals based on some hours. How many hours are we going to spend to complete the works? And then we are recording those hours so we can immediately just see them here per month, how many hours have been recorded per department or per manager, for example, which is quite a good one. Running the assumption that most hours means that managers are working harder to try to get the jobs done, but this is just an assumption. You know your business. You might be able to read this information and understand further on what is going on. The last thing that I would like to show you in here is we've got at the very bottom the time off section, time off requests. Any time off requests under my name, Amanda. So I can see that Gabriel has requested some time off for October 23rd. It is there. It is waiting for me to either accept it or not. So I just have it here as a reminder that, yeah, I will have to go back to Gabriel. And on the time off, I can clearly and quickly see all the time off, all the days that people on the current week or next week they have booked any time off quickly and easily. Actually, usually there is a kind of a split one. Anyway, should be, there you go. That's the split one. So that means half a day off. Now, I was a bit cryptic about the on-time delivery and the 99%. What does that really mean? I'm going to show you in a sec. So if we will go up here up on top, we have this button settings, which I hope that most of you have not seen that and have not played that much with this one, because that would mean that we will learn something extra right now. Let's get all the views by 36 months. Here they are. Therefore, we can clearly see and quickly see that, yeah, that pink one, the digital engineering, is kind of growing strong ever since August 22. Yeah, there is kind of movement. And also we do have this spike of 2 million, so it's pretty obvious. Let's drop it back to 12. And then let's talk about this one. I'm going to change it to count. What does that mean? This chart has changed a little bit. That was at 99%. It's not anymore. It's 95%, because this is counting the projects that have been delivered on time. Therefore, in January 2023, we had, let's say, 20 projects. 19 of them have been delivered on time. One of them was not delivered on time, thus the 95%. So you can see that here by count. If I will change it back to type, to values, that is jumping to 99%. This is probably because all the 19 projects that have been delivered on time, they were really pricey, while the only one that was not delivered on time was probably a small project. Therefore, it's down for you to understand how you would like to see them, but you do have this option to see them either by value or by cost. And that affects, obviously, the hit rate. Count, apply. Yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit more smooth when it comes to count of projects rather than values. With values, it's a little bit more, a little bit more upset. Here it is. And also, in here, we can decide how we would like to filter the entire dashboard. So we do have the opportunity, if we want, to select only one department. For example, we were on the digital construction. Digital construction, was it? Hang on. Which is the pink one? Was it? No, the pink one is the digital engineering. Let's go and pick that up. Apply. Here it is. This is really helpful in case you would like to get a little bit more information about, for example, services. Since each department has lots and lots of services, if you've got all departments open, it's a little bit manic. You can see what is going on actually. Let me just quickly show you. There you go. So you can see that's a huge, huge list purely because there are lots of departments lots of services per department. But if I will filter it by one department, I will be able to be a little bit more accurate. See that digital assets is at 196. I've got another one, digital assets 71. So I can see with the colors what is going on just for that particular department. And if I didn't have that 2 million spike in here, that would have looked much better. Or I can see what is going on with managers, and I can see who's managing each one of them. Also, it's really helpful in this particular case that we do have this spike that kind of skews the entire data set. We can inverse them, get everything except digital engineering. And currently, I have a different graph where I don't have this spike anymore. And that is relevant for all the graphs, for on-time delivery, billable hours, and hit rate. Currently, I am not using digital engineering. And you might notice as well that in here in the organizations, that has changed. Whatever the name was with the 2 million, it's not here anymore. It's not up on top. We have different organizations. And if I would like to pick just one department, let's say I'm going to just check the laser scanning, that will change once again. Now, obviously, this list with organizations suggests that all your proposals and your projects do have a price. Because if you don't have a price in your projects, your proposals and projects, then those will not show up. It will not show you which is the really strong company. And with that said, I am done. I've covered everything that I want to say. I do notice that Rhonda, you did drop a message a question. Let me just quickly have a look. Yes. Has there been any move to have a bill through date for lump sum projects? Have there been any move to have a bill through date for lump sum projects? I might need a little bit of help, Rhonda, with this one. A bill through date for lump sum. So do we mean to be able to? Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure I fully understand that we would be able to bill. Yeah, do you mean the billing end date? That there have been any move to have a bill through date for lump sum projects? The bill through date automatically lists on the invoice as the invoice date. So if we will go here on the invoice to the bill through date, automatically lists on the invoice as the invoice date. So we mean that once we will create an invoice, let's say for this one, if the client, the bill through date automatically lists on the invoice. I'm not sure, Rhonda. If we invoice in October and the client wants to see it through 9/30, the admin will have to backdate the invoice. Oh, yeah. Well, in that case, you will not have to backdate the invoice. You can just leave it on 10/18, but then you can just decide, you can just add the billing start and end date of September. I'm not too sure I'm responding to your question, though. I'm not sure whether this is. Yeah, you do have the ability to not backdate the invoice, to not have to backdate the invoice back to September, just to make sure that this comes under September. You can do that with the billing start and end date. I'm not too sure I replied your question. I mean, we can probably just have a little bit of a chat later on, I guess, on this one, Rhonda. Okay. I do have another question from Larry. Yes, sure. And we can have a chat, Rhonda. We can have a chat later on, no problem at all. Larry, if the client puts a project on hold, can we do the same in Kompass? Not at the moment, but we do have it in the roadmap. And actually, it's we're getting close to this one, where we will be able to put some proposal items on hold or a project as well on hold. Currently, it's not, but it will be really soon. Okay, not sure whether we have any other questions. Let me just quickly jump on the proposal. Just go here. I'm still having a bit of a look on the Q&A, but let me just say the final goodbye to anyone who would like to leave. So thank you very much once again. Thank you for joining the fourth. We've been to the fourth webinar so far. Here are some links that you might find helpful. You can check our YouTube channel. In here, you can find lots of videos that shows how Kompass works, and you will be able to find previous webinars. If you are new to Kompass, if you haven't seen us before, feel free to just book a Kompass BMS demo. You can see the link there. You can just get the QR code. And also do follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us, subscribe, like, and no, that's YouTube, isn't it? Anyways, just jump on LinkedIn and you will be able to find lots and lots of information about us. You know me. If you have any questions, feel free dropping me a text, dropping me an email. Thank you very much all for joining. And I don't have any other questions. Therefore, I will be closing this webinar now. Okay, thank you, everybody. See you. Bye-bye.